Halo, selamat malam semuanya. Aduh, ini kok berdikit ya. Nah, kita mulai aja ya, langsung. Nah, kata absen dulu ya. Selamat malam. Kedengeran nggak ya suaranya? Tes, tes, halo? Kedengeran, oke. Siap, 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 siap. Oke, kalau gitu kita mulai aja. Selamat malam, berarti Narendra. Naren udah, Alvino udah, Azam belum, David, kemudian Aisyah. Ya, Relo izin ya. Lu Anjani, Marvin, Bintang udah. Boleh segera masuk ke Zoom ya. Kelasnya akan kita mulai sekarang. Oke, sip. Kita akan mulai saja untuk kelas kita hari ini. Jadi selamat malam semuanya. Lintang, Alvino, sama Naren. Apa kabarnya hari ini? Kabar baik, kabar baik. Oke, baik ya. Kalau baik, baik tapi saya sekolah. Oke, sip, sip. Kita mulai aja kalau gitu ya. Untuk hari ini kita akan lanjutin lagi dari pelajaran yang minggu lalu. Ada yang masih ingat nggak minggu lalu belajar apa? Minggu lalu kita belajar tentang yang namanya kasus analitis ya. Hari ini kita akan belajar visualisasi data. Ada yang tahu apa itu visualisasi data? Coba sambil padat kembali dulu ya. Oh, saya tidak bisa masuk Zoom ya. Oke, kita masuk ya. Nah, jadi visualisasi data itu adalah kalian akan menampilkan data itu dalam bentuk gambar gitu. Kenapa sih penting? Kalau misalnya kita bandingkan angka satu dengan angka 2, menurut kalian bagus yang mana dan kenapa? Bagus ini maksudnya kalian bisa mengerti lebih cepat ya. Coba kalian lebih paham yang mana, yang kiri atau yang kanan dan kenapa? Iya, ada yang tahu kenapa? Kiri Kak lebih simpel sama ada angkanya. Oke, nah itu kalau Naran ya, gampang yang baca untuk kiri gitu. Nah mungkin ada beberapa orang kalau misalnya yang kanan karena dia jadi tahu ya proporsi yang lebih banyaknya yang mana gitu. Oh berarti musim panas yang paling banyak. Ya, hari ini kita akan coba belajar gimana sih caranya untuk menampilkan gambar menggunakan beberapa jenis visualisasi. Nah, itu kita akan menggunakan yang namanya Matplotlib ya. Jadi dengan Matplotlib itu kalian bisa menggunakan macam-macam visualisasi data. Ya, nanti kalian tinggal diimport aja gitu. Contohnya seperti apa? Contohnya seperti ini nih. Kalian mau bikin grafik garis itu boleh juga ya. Jadi dengan grafik garis ini nanti akan ditampilkan untuk si gambar dari datanya gitu ya. Caranya pakai dot plot aja gitu. Oke. Nah, terus kalau misalnya di dalam gambar visualisasi data itu ada apa aja sih jenisnya? Jadi jenisnya itu ada macam-macam. Kalian bisa menggunakan yang namanya his, box, scatter, pie, bar, barha, sama line. Oke. Nanti kita akan praktekin satu persatu untuk setiap jenis em, apa visualisasi datanya ya. Nah, misalnya untuk yang jenis pertama, kita akan buat misalnya untuk yang histogram. Nah, yang histogram berarti itu gunanya untuk melihat distribusi data. Distribusi data ini menunjukkan gitu, oh bagian mana sih yang paling banyak gitu ya. Yang dua memvisualisasikan banyak pemilih, betul ya, lintang kayak gitu. Nah, contohnya kayak gini, oh kalau misalnya dengan histogram kalian jadi tahu nih, kalau data kalian itu ternyata lebih banyak di angka 0 sampai 10. Gitu, frekuensinya ternyata ada berapa di sini? Kelihatan ya? Nih, frekuensinya ada di 3000-an gitu ya. 0 sampai 10 itu untuk ukuran aplikasi ada di 3000 jenis aplikasi. Nah, misalnya kalian mau bikin binsnya lebih dikit, binsnya 5 gitu, itu bisa juga. Oke. Nah, kemudian kalau misalnya kalian udah tahu ada histogram, kita akan belajar yang namanya box plot. Dengan box plot, kalian bisa tahu ada jenis-jenis data yang dia outlier. Outlier itu adalah nilai yang menonjol dari antara nilai umum. Contoh, kalian punya aplikasi untuk, ada kolom price, dan nanti divisualisasikan kolom price itu di luar dari jangkauan yang normalnya. Ya, contohnya kayak titik-titik gini. Nah, itu artinya ya udah nilai dari si aplikasi yang berbayar itu lebih dari nilai normalnya gitu ya. Nah, dengan box plot itu kalian bisa melihat ada persentil, median, persentil ke-25, nilai minimum, nilai maksimum juga bisa kalian lihat. Oke. Nah, outlier juga bisa kalian dapatkan dari situ ya. Gitu. Terus bagian berikutnya scatter. Jadi kadang kalian pengen tahu nih, ada nggak sih hubungan antara dua variabel gitu ya. Contohnya kalau kalian pengen ngebikin eh, misal kalian jualan es krim di musim panas sama jualan es krim di musim dingin. Nah, kalian nanti bandingin nih, apakah suhu itu mempengaruhi penjualan es krim? Kalau suhunya semakin rendah ya atau semakin dingin, apakah penjualan es krim meningkat? Nah, itu nanti kita menggunakan yang namanya scatter plot. Gitu. Nanti kalau apa gambarnya dia menunjukkan ke bawah, ya udah berarti oh ya udah ada hubungannya, tapi hubungannya jadi negatif. Misalnya kalau temperaturnya naik, ternyata penjualannya jadi turun, gitu. Kan? Gampang ya. Terus caranya gimana? Pakai dot plot ya, rating install, terus kainnya sama dengan scatter. Habis itu pie. Pie itu adalah yang grafik lingkaran. Jadi misalnya kalian pengen pakai pie, itu kalian cukup pakai value count saja langsung kainnya pie. Udah deh langsung dilihat aja proporsi apa grafik lingkarannya. Kan? Nah, kadang kalau proporsi grafik lingkarannya dia kayak gini, menurut kalian gampang dibacanya nggak? Coba menurut kalian gampang dibaca nggak kalau grafiknya kayak gini? Invalid meeting ID. Nah, dia pakai meeting ID kan? Ini meeting ID-nya. Nah, enggak ya, karena dia terlalu banyak nih detailnya gitu. Jadi, kadang kita cukup nampilin 5 sampai 6 kategori aja. Berikutnya adalah bar. Bar ini membantu untuk membandingkan nilai satu sama lain. Jadi, nanti kalian bisa menggunakan yang namanya kategori value counts langsung kainnya sama dengan bar. Oke? Nah, kalian juga nanti mau nampilin beberapa jenis gitu ya dalam satu gambar itu ada beberapa grafik itu boleh juga. Ada yang namanya pivot table. Dengan pivot table, kalian bisa menggunakan content rating, kolomnya type, valuesnya install, egg functionnya min. Udah langsung bikin subplotnya sama dengan true. Dapat deh ya nilai rata-rata per jenis aplikasinya. Oke, kalau misalnya menjadi bar horizontal juga boleh. Layoutnya tinggal diganti aja. Oke, itu aja. Ada pertanyaan dulu sebelum kita praktek ya. Kalau nggak ada, semuanya boleh langsung dibuka VS Code-nya ya. Silakan dibuka yang di nomor, bentar. Kalian buka yang di nomor ini ya, 11. Oke, silakan. Kita buka di nomor, berapa tadi? 11 ya. Ya, langsung buka nomor 11. Sudah ya. Nih, kalian buka yang di nomor ini, 11. Oke? Langsung ke bagian pertama. Nah, nanti nomor satu silakan boleh langsung dijawab dulu ya. Kayak gini dipasang-pasangkan. Yang sudah nomor satu ketik angka satu di chat Zoom ya, supaya kita lanjut. Sudah? Oke, kalau sudah lanjut ya. Nomor berikutnya berarti ini nomor 2 ya. Gampang, ini tinggal dipilih yang box. Udah? Nggak sudah lanjut nomor 3 gampang. Ini juga ya. Bin sama his aja. Kalau sudah ke nomor 4 Pine Pie. Sudah ke nomor 5. Nah, lanjut ke nomor 6 ya. Nomor 5 ada dua, Pelikan sama Grup By. Lalu kalau sudah nomor 6 ya, ada satu. Oke, kalau sudah nomor 7 ya. 7 berarti rating, number of genre, sama scatter itu tinggal lihat aja nama kolomnya ya. Nah, nomor 8 berarti pivotable. Bintang berarti ini ya. Yang sudah ketik angka 2 ya, supaya kita langsung praktek ke codingannya. Silakan. Itu, Kak, maaf boleh datang nomor 7. Kak, itu nomor bonus ya, nomor bonus. Ini nomor 7 ya. Rating number of genres. Dilihat di ini gambar ya. Nama kolomnya. Rating number of genres. Sudah yang lain? Boleh lihat nomor 8, Kak? Boleh. Nih, yang bintang ini ya. Udah ya, semua ya. Kalau sudah kita langsung lanjut aja ke nomor 2. Nomor 2 ini kalian cukup klik aja. Ya, nanti dia akan hijau sendiri. Supaya hijau dulu. Nah, nanti ke nomor 3. Oke. Nah, nomor 3 ini yang akan kita coba kerjain ya. Jadi kita akan coba menganalisis lagi untuk soal apa? Study case nilai ujian siswa ya. Nanti kalian bisa baca dulu soalnya dan kita akan coba tampilin beberapa jenis visualisasi. Oke, sebentar. Nah, Kak, kalau udah dibaca, pertama-tama kita akan coba membuat dulu ya, seperti biasa, nilai rata-rata sama weekly subject. Ini kado kecilan aja soalnya. Dan kado coba baca dulu ya, untuk datanya yaitu students performance ya. Nah, ini pastikan dihapus dulu ya spasinya, karena dari soalnya dia otomatis kebentuk ada spasi. Lalu kalau misalnya sudah, kita coba tampilin yang pertama adalah histogram. Ya, histogram ini berarti tadi untuk melihat distribusi nilai. Ya, jadi nanti ketika kalian play, maka grafik yang akan dibuat adalah tentang ya distribusi nilai si ininya ya, apa nilai rata-rata average score gitu. Oke. Berarti kalau dari gambar ini nilai rata-ratanya lumayan banyak ya di 70 gitu. Dan yang nilai 100 itu lebih banyak daripada yang nilainya kecil. Gampang ya? Nah, ini silakan boleh langsung dikerjain. Kalau udah ketik angka 3 ya. Ya, yang sudah ketik angka 3. Nanti hasilnya berarti seperti apa? Hasilnya muncul grafik ya. Error Kak, mana? Oh, kalau misalnya Matplotlibnya belum ada, nih, kamu tinggal pip install Matplotlib dulu ya. Jadi di terminalnya jangan lupa diketik eh nah, pip install Matplotlib kayak gini ya di terminalnya. Pip install mana sih? Sini ya di bawah. Pip install Matplotlib. Udah gini doang. Enggak? Coba dibuat pip install Matplotlib ya. Kalau error Matplotlib not defined. Udah, ayo diketik angka 3 kalau udah ya. Coba biar kita lanjut. Kalau misalnya ada yang ngarah kasih tahu juga. Kayak Marvin udah, yang lain gimana? Lintang, Hafiz, Vino, Naren. Ini ketutupan ya. Benar kak kode saya kalau ke semua kepencet kontrol Z lagi aja Naren kan bisa. Nggak usah kamu ketik ulang. Enggak. Yaudah. Ya, kita lanjut ya ke bagian berikutnya ya. Kalau sudah, berarti kita tinggal masuk ke bagian berikutnya yang box plot ya. Kan kita udah menampilkan dalam histogram, sekarang kita akan ke box plot. Lalu setelah box plot, kita akan menampilkan dia dalam bentuk scatter plot ya. Ya bikin tiga aja sekaligus ya. Di situ tinggal pie chart. Nih, eh, jadi ada box plot, scatter plot, sama ada pie chart. Box plot berarti tadi untuk melihat apa? Statistik ya, statistik dari error, invalid requirement. Kenapa tuh? Nah, ini bisa. Sip. Terus nih ya, ini yang box plot dia gunanya untuk menunjukkan bukan distribusi apa? Menunjukkan nilai statistik ya dari setiap kolomnya gitu. Oh, kalau dari sini berarti mediannya atau nilai tengahnya itu ya udah rata-rata ya. Dan semuanya punya nilai 100 dan nilai yang paling buruk adalah matematika ya tuh. Ada yang bahkan nilainya 0 gitu. Ya. Terus bagian berikutnya adalah nih ya, kita bisa ngelihat juga apakah nilai matematika sama menulis itu berpengaruh apa berkorelasi atau enggak. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian lihat dari grafik ini, nilai matematikanya semakin gede, maka nilai writingnya pun ikut semakin gede. Gitu. Ya. Habis itu kita pengen lihat komposisi lunch-nya itu yang standar sama yang free itu berapa dan paling banyak yang standar. Ya. Silakan dibuat dulu seperti ini. Dibuat dari sini yang box plot sampai bawah. Oh, karena ini belum ya, pantesan. Pantesan belum. Ya kan?
No, there's nothing wrong with you just for having a hard time in life. Life is hard. This white rice represents the population of the world, okay? So 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem at some point this year, right? And the wild rice represents that 1 in 4. But when you take something like that, realize even if you just take one little pinch of people, so let's go, even if you're not struggling at this moment, the chances are you're going to be brushing shoulders with somebody. So you are never alone when you're struggling. Someone else will be dealing with something. There is such power in being able to recognize that what you're experiencing is a human experience. Even when you feel like you're only only one experience at that moment, you don't have to judge yourself as not being enough or not getting this thing called like correct or right when you're really struggling. The best thing you can possibly do is so close to driver's that number is
Sudah ketik angka 4 ya.
take a walk for a while. That's sort of now it helps you reach even more people that are promised. Making the show better for you every single time. Hey, it's Brett Bell. Welcome to the No One Podcast. I'm so always spend time in here. I also join well with the No One Podcast. Because decided to play on this particular so you're the kind of person who values your time. You're also someone who's committed to how to become the best version of yourself and getting better at navigating life's ups and downs. And we can all get better at that ourselves. And he chose to listen to this because someone shared this with you. I think it's an important thing that I want to acknowledge for you. It's really cool. And I personally cannot be more excited than that. She's a global psychologist, best-selling author of blockbuster bestseller, Wise Women which has spent 190 days on the Sunday Times bestseller list. She has impacted millions of lives with the content she shows online, and now she's taken all of that wisdom and put it into her bestselling book, Open When. It's a book that can open when things are good. It's a toolkit, like everything. Julie Smith is in the house. Welcome to the Mel Robbins Podcast. Thank you. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. Well, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I am grateful that you hopped on a plane overseas to be here with us. And I want to start by telling you, it's absolutely extraordinary. I am so proud of you. I'm so excited for to have this book. I just want to read just even the table of contents because it's a guide to life. I mean, I want you to read this book when you're yourself, when your friends are not your friends. One of us all they're all bite-sized chapters. Do ways to change things. Open when you're is your goal.
Ya, yang ada pertanyaan juga tanyain ya.
Way too early, and there's just so many scenarios that we all face at some point, right? That everybody goes through, but none of it comes with any kind of manual or sense of what you should do about it. And all those situations you in turmoil, you know, sort of not knowing which way is up, or you often has emotion to deal with, and you're not sure which way it's through. And really, the whole idea for this book came from the first, so Wife Motion is before my first book, which was always kind of insight from therapy. I think that we could spend time practicing to kind of build your resilience so that when stuff happens, you're better. I could not get it out of my head that I just didn't write all those moments. You know, if you're in the bed and you're in a crisis, so not one of the six go, right? And then you're being equipped now. What you need someone to kind of grab you by the shoulders, look you in the eye, and say, I know the way through. And often that's just a shift of your attention, right? It's focusing on the direction that's going to see you through and out the side. And you know, for me, I guess the person that does that in my life is my husband Matt. He doesn't realize he does it, but he says the stuff. No, he says the right thing to just kind of shift me back on track, and then I'm back on. But even for people that you know don't have that person in life, but even for people that do, that person isn't always there at that time. And I was thinking about, gosh, when my kids grow up and we leave home, and you know, what can I send them off with that would through those difficult moments where I can't be there to give them a hug and say, I know the way through this. So yeah, it's the kind of the one I have to stick in the suitcases of my kids when they leave home, or you know, send off to family and friends when I can't be there for them.
Well, I completely relate because when I read your book, I thought I have to give this to all three of my kids because it is a manual for life. Let's face it, life is very difficult. And what I'm excited for us to do is to unpack all these little nuggets of wisdom that are life skills, that are tools that you can assemble in a toolkit for life. Because life is stressful right now. Like if you're not feeling anxious, somebody that you want problems. If you're not overwhelmed, somebody else is that you care about. If you haven't lost your job or are stressed out about the headlines, somebody that you care about is. And everything that you're about to share, that you've also beautifully written about in this new best-selling book, Open When, are just tools. And I love that you said that it's the kind of thing that you wish everybody knew, and that you almost wish people didn't have to pay for. You've been in clinical practice for over a decade. You have millions of followers who hang on your videos and are so inspired and empowered by them. I would love for you to just tell the person listening, how do you think about what you're doing?
It's doing against the type of questioning. Because there's the therapeutic and clinical work, but then that educational aspect and therapy. I would find out how people can be helpful. And a lot of these people that were coming on therapy, perhaps that also be a method of help. They didn't have any sort of clinical diagnosis, or they were just struggling to deal with life throughout that because they didn't trust in their ability to be able to
Oke, jangan lupa ketik angka berapa tadi? Empat, empat ya.
be able to be through that emotion, or to deal with relationships or moods or whatever it was. And I think once people had that information, they were just raring to go. And so I wanted to kind of get that out there and make it more available to people. And so that's really what I'm doing is sharing the stuff that the juicy bits that have come out of all this great stuff that is used in clinical practice. But we should all be using it because when you're big or small, it does. And so
Oke, Lintang udah, yang lain jangan lupa ketik di chat Zoom juga supaya lanjut.
Dr. Julie, what would you tell someone who feels like they're the only person in their friend group or their family who's actually
you know, we actually did a video on it quite a while ago. Rise, just of this idea of representing the population. So let's say the rise here, this white rise represents the population of the world. Okay, so we've got all of this, and 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem at some point this year, right? And the wild rice represents that 1 in 4. But when you mix them up like that, give it a little mix, realize that 1 in 4 is a huge number. And even if you just take one little pinch of people, so let's say that's the people in your life, even if you're lucky enough not to be struggling at this moment, the chances are you're going to be rushing shoulders with somebody weak. So you're never alone when you're struggling, because even though people make you won't be able to see it in this visual way you do with their eyes because people don't talk about it when they're struggling. But someone else will be dealing with something, and so recognizing that we need to be kind with each other all the time.
Dr. Julie, why is it important for you to recognize that you're not the only one? Like, what benefit does it have on you if you are in a moment where you're struggling?
There is such power in being able to recognize that what you're experiencing is a normal human experience. Even when you feel like you're the only one experiencing it at that moment, knowing that that doesn't make you abnormal, that it's a normal part of the human experience that other people might have experienced at some point, even if they're not going through it now. You don't have to judge yourself as not being enough or not getting this thing called life correct or right. Normalizing something helps you to take the judgment out of it and start looking at it with curiosity.
The other thing that I love about it, and this visual is so helpful, is that there are going to be times where I am the wild rice that's going through something, and then there'll be times that I'm the white rice and things are okay. And also understanding that we swap those positions in life, I think, gives you perspective that where you're at right now, if you're struggling, is where you're also.
Absolutely. It changes and it's temporary, and those thoughts are so simple and yet so powerful because you know that something is changeable and sometimes you're okay, sometimes you're not, and that's accept it and allow it to pass over that way.
And it also gives you the motivation and hope that you use the tools that you share with us, that you pass through it a little quicker.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do to help bring yourself back to baseline and to prevent it from happening so much of the time, or to prevent those emotions from being so intense. There are lots of skills you can do that you can learn and get better at that help you to that.
Well, that's why I'm so glad that you're here, because I think that you're here with mental health. So thanks something we can start with now. You can struggle with friendship, you can struggle with loneliness, you can struggle with not having a direction in your career, you can struggle with money. There's so many things in life that cause you to doubt or overthink or feel doubt about yourself. And I'm so excited to dig into it. Dr. Julie is a clinical psychologist who said that everybody deserves to have an emotional focus. What's that?
There's loads to that depending on what you're facing at any given point. And I'm kind of breaking down into there are certain things where people struggle, no matter what the details of your problem is, and what life's throwing at you. A lot of people struggle with emotions. So people will often come into therapy, diagnosed or not, they feel feeling I don't want to have too much of those, and I'm missing
Udah, yang lain?
ones that I used to have more. I would like some of those back, please.
Right.
So a lot of it is a sort of skills around emotion regulation. So there are things you can do to help you regulate the negative emotions, not make them disappear. So that there's a learning about, okay, emotion is human experience, and information is something that's wrong with you. If you experience sadness or anger or anxiety, it doesn't necessarily mean there's something wrong with you. It's a normal part of human experience. So often what we do there is judgment out of it, and we look at it with curiosity that all emotion is information. It has nothing to tell you usually about what you feel or what's going on around you. So there's a kind of shift around emotion regulation and learning about emotion. But then there's also stuff about thoughts that people struggle with also, all this stuff online about, only positive vibes and don't have negative thoughts, and that really sets people up to feel like they're failing because inevitably they have negative thoughts, they have judgment, they have self-critical thoughts, and when they have those, they
Udah ya, kalau tangkap udah aja ya. Terus kita bisa lanjut yang berikutnya. Berikutnya berarti kita tinggal bar high. Udah, dua ini lagi aja. Oke. Nah, silakan. 4 menitan lagi aja. Habis itu kita sudahi. Ada pertanyaan dulu nggak sejauh ini?
I have the choice. So it's this idea that attention is like a spotlight, and if all your kind of thoughts were acting on the stage, you've got control of the spotlight. So what's most people try to do is scramble up onto the stage and pull actors off the side. I don't want to think that, and I don't want to have that thought because that's horrible. And I just want to think this, and you can't control it, right? But what you do have is the spotlight. So these different thoughts are coming into your mind, and then you can just choose what you put most of your time and attention to. That will impact how you feel. You don't have to eradicate those other thoughts. There are other possible threats that you can do, but you get to choose which ones you get that I like.
Well, and what's great about the way that you're framing this is you're now talking about teaching us skills around managing emotions and feeling emotions and not being scared of emotions and processing them, and tools around understanding the way that your thoughts are shaping your experience and learning the skill of choosing what you want to think about or how you want to think about things. And we're going to get into those. We're going to take the rice away right now through the magic of editing, and then I'm going to jump right into the next question. So, Dr. Julie, you've been very open about your recent cancer diagnosis. Can you use that as an example of a situation where life sucks, things happen, and how you were then saying to this toolkit that we're going to have for the person that's with us to navigate through that situation that just happened?
Yeah, do you know what and I'm generally not that public about my personal life a lot, but the reason I kind of shared about that was because I knew there would be other busy people like me tempted to put their own health back. So, and that's just something I would say to anyone out there who is listening has any kind of health concern and is tempted to wait, put it off until they're less busy. Because I did, I was 6 weeks ago handing in the manuscript to Openware and got the lumps in my breath, and I thought, should I just wait till I put it on my desk before I go and study? I had lots of months before. I knew it wasn't a nice process, and I thought, do I have the mental capacity for this right now? I've lots going on. But in the end, again, who we were talking to, I thought that's a good idea. When I got the test, and time was my greatest tool. So my greatest weapon against the thing, and now I'm fine. But so anyone out there who has a kind of health concern and is tempted to put it off, don't just do it. And so yeah, I got diagnosed then. So that was about 6 weeks before I had the book in, and I got diagnosed. I was about a week or two away from having the book in. So I was at that stage where I was kind of reading through, editing, polishing things up, ready for my editor here. And I just happened to be reading through a chapter on when fear shows up.
Like mine.
Oh my goodness. And I read it and I thought, just that's kind of what I need to hear right now. It was very gentle, and then a lot of people like that approach, but I just thought I need very much stronger here. So I hit delete and I sat there and then rewrote the whole thing. It was very much a shift in language that when something like that happens and life throws you a massive curveball like that, you're faced with the prospect of your own mortality. Fear is just catastrophic, right? I was like a rabbit in headlights. That's what I felt like. That I was just stumped, and because you don't find out everything at once either. You don't through this thing. Now your responsibility to cultivate that courage to move through and uphill side, and have a lot of language around becoming the predator instead of the prey. And there's this fundamental difference between those two, right? So that prey is darting around, just avoiding threat and pitfalls and trying to survive it, whereas a predator is had a goal.
Oke, sip. Kalau sudah langsung diceklisin aja kotaknya ya. Ini Kak Daud kirimin visualisasi data.
And so I thought, right, yeah, cancer isn't coming after me, I'll come after it. Better watch out. And I felt fundamentally the situation was the same. But I felt
Ini ada beberapa grafik juga. Kak Daud akan drop aja ya langsung.
was never going to be in the book, but I had to put it in the end because it
Oke, nanti bisa kalian langsung pakai aja ya.
get busy with life's purpose. Toss aside and
Udah kirimin juga ke grup WhatsApp aja.
care for yourself at all. Do it while you can. And it kind of makes me emotional just even saying it there.
Oke deh, sip. Itu aja ya untuk kelas kita hari ini. Sebelum kelasnya tutup, ada pertanyaan dulu dari kalian.
I felt that drive, that kind of fire in my belly to do something that was active in my university. So I feel like
Kalau belum ada pertanyaan, kodenya udah ada di grup WhatsApp ya, link Google Docs itu boleh dikirimin, boleh diklik atau mau dari chat Zoom juga silakan. Oke, jadi untuk kelas hari ini kita cukupkan ya. Kalian udah belajar gimana cara visualisasi data. Nanti kita mulai ngebikin presentasinya ya dari visualisasi data yang udah kalian buat. Oke, so bye semuanya. Selamat malam. Thank you ya. Dah Hafizam, Lintang, Vino, Aaron, sama Marvin. Selamat malam.
I don't trust myself to be able to cope with whatever comes up. And that will fundamentally change the language and to choose to focus that spotlight of your attention where it is going to